Now I compare the rest of Singapore. Okay, now this is another comparison I like to show. Okay, Puteri Cove versus the rest of Singapore. And here you can see Orchard Road, I show Anguilla Park as high as 4,007 all the way to the Singapore suburbs. Now, why I like to show this chart? Okay, what is your downside risk? Let's say you invest in Puteri Cove at 500 PSF, sink. Okay, and the market in Malaysia drops by 20%. Okay, market in Malaysia crash. So your 500 becomes 400 PSF Sing dollars. Okay, how much you lost? 100 PSF. Now my question to you guys is, if you lost 100 PSF in your property value, will you declare bankrupt and kill yourself and jump off the building? You won't, because it's only 100 PSF loss. Okay, in Sing dollar terms. Okay, imagine if you bought Orchard and Orchard drops 20%, or you buy Bukit Timah in Singapore, drop 20%. Your loss is double, triple that of Puteri Cove. Okay, so that is your downside. Now, what is your upside potential? Now, I like to say your upside potential for Puteri Cove is at least 500 per square foot. The difference between Puteri Cove and the cheapest parts of Singapore, which is the furthest parts of Singapore, Pasir Ris, Choa Chu Kang, Punggol, Choa Chu Kang, Woodlands, okay, roughly private condo there is going about 1,000 per square foot. Okay, so the difference between here and here is about 500. Now, why I say that's the difference? Because as MRT is completed, ferry is completed, okay, this gap will narrow, okay, because the distance between these two areas will become closer. Okay, so if you have an investment where your downside is 100, your upside is 500. Okay, potential downside 100, potential upside 500. Is it good investment or bad investment? What is your risk? You can make as much as 500, you lose in the worst case scenario 100. Okay, so we think that is very, very good odds for you. Okay, now who are the exit plan, target exit plan? These are the type of people that you can sell to in Singapore. Okay, I won't go through one by one, but basically these are the investors or types of people who are likely to buy Puteri Cove from you in the future. Okay, and in Singapore, a couple of weeks ago, we had this Singapore Yacht Show, okay, in Sentosa. Okay, more than 12,000 people visited this yacht show, including 4,000 high net worth individuals. Okay, so what are people doing in Sentosa Cove? They come here to buy boats, and these boats are as expensive as your Puteri Cove residence. Okay, now last week also came out this article, more mooring space at marinas needed. Sentosa Cove and Keppel Bay run out of space to park yachts. Can you imagine? Singapore got so many rich people okay, who buy so many yachts until no more space to park yacht. Can you imagine? These are the type of people that we so-called will sell Puteri Cove to in the future. Those who are looking for this type of lifestyle. One target market. And of course, this type of target market, they only want to buy the best, and they will pay premium for the best properties. Okay? Now, just want to do one simple, before we end, want to do one simple exercise with everyone. Now, can you imagine 6 years from now, this is the Singapore Straits Times, our Singapore main paper, right? Can you imagine in the 6 years from now, Wednesday, February 20th, 2020, okay? And the headline says, Singapore to Johor Bahru MRT opens today. Okay, I repeat, Singapore to Johor Bahru MRT open today. There will be 2 prime ministers here, may or may not be them, and MRT free for 1 month opening. Normally in Singapore, whenever new MRT launch, we always free for 1 month. So free MRT, Johor 1 month. Can you imagine, or I ask you, when this thing happens 6 years from now, will your property price in Iskandar go up? Okay, answer definitely yes, sure. Okay, to me as an investor, this is also a signal to sell. Train completed. Okay, everybody want to buy Iskandar because train completed. Can use already. That is a signal to sell. This is when you will find the most buyers paying you the highest prices. Okay, so as an investor, I always tell a simple strategy to invest Iskandar. Buy good property, very high quality property, very good location. Why? So that people want to buy from you in the future. Okay, don't buy property that's too cheap. Okay, that nobody wants. Okay, not here, not there. You know what I call not here, not there? Too cheap for the, not nice enough for the Singaporean, too expensive for the local. Local thing is too expensive, but foreigner thing is not nice enough, so they don't want to buy. That's a trap, that's what we call a Iskandar trap. Not nice enough for Singaporean, not too expensive for locals. That's a trap. You must buy property where Singaporean also want to buy. They're, wow, nice, I want to stay. Okay, international market want to buy because nice. Okay, so you must go for that type of property. Next thing you do is you wait 6 years for 2020. When this happens in the Singapore Straits Times, you sell. Okay, now this slide basically shows you all the investors from Singapore into Iskandar, Malaysia. Okay, notice that you have some very big names here like Temasek, CapitaLand, Peter Lim, Wee Ee Chow, Pacific Star, Balstead, MDIS, Oxley, Ascendus, Parkway Health. All these are very big Singapore brand names, and they have invested into Iskandar in the past 1 to 3 years. It's not 5 years ago, not 10 years ago. Only recently they put their money in Iskandar. Do they see something that you don't? Do they see something where the public is still not very aware of? Okay, you follow the big boys' money. They have only put in their money recently. Okay, and these are those from China, Hong Kong, okay, and other foreign brands, Japanese, Australians, and the Americans. Okay, Hershey just opened a very big chocolate factory in Johor. Okay, Mitsui is investing into Medini. Okay, Robert Kwok. These are all the China companies, massive developers. RNF is one of the top 10 developers in China. Okay, and these are some of the other brand names from other parts of the world who have also all invested or are doing business in Iskandar, Malaysia. And last thing is the train. Okay, train is very important factor. Okay, so today you have an opportunity to invest in what we call one of the most super prime locations, high quality build properties in Iskandar, Malaysia. And I'd like to advise you, follow the money trail of the big boys. Big companies like CapitaLand, Temasek put money into Iskandar recently, they must be seeing something. Okay, you just follow them, buy good location, good quality property, wait 6 years, you will reap the fruits of reward. Okay, and do visit our show flat in Iskandar, Malaysia. We have a very, very nice show flat, as I mentioned. As I said, it's tier 1 waterfront. You can jump from here into here, direct into the water. Okay, a very nice show flat. We have 1 room, 2 room, 3 room show flats available at the site itself. Okay, as I mentioned, this in the future will be converted into an F&B restaurant. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, we will have it after this presentation. Thank you. Thank you.